Hi everyone. I wrote this stuff down before I started recording. BCA-101, this is from Wednesday, 4/19. Day 37. We are talking about information systems. Sometimes you'll see information and communication technology. You'll see that. We also hear things like Internet of everything, where we're connecting everything to the internet. All right, we're not going to worry about this right now. We'll look at that later. What you know and what you can look up. You know, this is a fine line. We think you should have some core information that you should know, but yes, there is lots of information you could just look up, so it's needless to memorize. This is key. The more you know, the better off you're going to be, because everybody can look up information. When we do discussions, make sure your comments reference the material. Make sure your comment isn't generic. Also, then I've noticed, coming from this same idea of looking up, some people in the discussions are just looking up definitions and pasting them in. We really need, unless it specifically says look up this definition, we really need you to explain what it is. What do you really know? Anybody can look it up. Okay? So in the discussion, we're really curious. People are starting to cut and paste information in rather than type what they know. And then it doesn't take long to look at. Are you just worried about getting the task done and just worried about getting a grade? Have you lost focus on learning? Are you really doing your best work? So when I look at all this work up here, discussions and what we're doing and work, sometimes I think people could do better work. All right. We're not going to go through everything here, but we talked about levels of management. We have a workforce. They don't oversee anybody. And we have levels of management. Get smaller because less people at each level. Then over here, we have data. Data moves up, and we get less data, but used for strategic decisions, things that are going to affect us in a year. So this is the whole idea. We can use software to convert data into information for doing transactions, week in, week out, tactical things, and to make the strategic decisions long term, in years. So we're going from data to information to allow different levels of management to make decisions. So structured decisions are decisions that are very straightforward. If you know a number, then you order. Something happens, this happens. We talked about the transaction. When there's a transaction, they get a number, it goes and finds the price out in the database, comes back, and then it adds the prices up, and you get your total. This can be done by technology. Non-structured decisions are tougher to do by technology. Humans make the decision. Now, artificial intelligence can help, and your information you can use information to base your decision, but the decision narrows down to a human. Like hiring. Sometimes you can look at everything, but when it comes right down to it, it's the person that you're interested in hiring, or maybe who you're going to get married to, or whatever. Okay? And then we have semi-structured, it's kind of in between, not as clear-cut. So management and information systems are all about making decisions. We use internal information to do that, and external information. What's happening within our company, what's happening in the world around us. And nowadays, it's a combination of that. We already covered this. All right. So we did a little example for databases. We talked about schools and we talked about entities. So we have students, faculty, courses, and then which term it is. And so we talked about primary keys that identify each of these uniquely. Okay, and then we talked about foreign keys, where a primary key is in another table. So this here, what term it is, you can actually look at some number. This student is taking this course. This student is taking this course. So we can keep track of what courses the students are in without messing with these two tables. So these relationships in the green here, or I should say this one right here, coming up here to here, here to here, those relationships create for us a relational database management system. Okay? And then we also looked at this example, city-state zip, city-state zip. We could just put a location number in there and create another table called location. So we have Mesa City, Iowa, and the zip and some number. So if they're from Mason City, you can just put the number in there instead of all that information, so we don't have so much redundancy. For example, too, we've got this instructor is teaching that particular course. Now, if that instructor gets called away on a secret mission, then this instructor can be put in place of that to teach the course. You only got to change it one place. We'll talk a little more about this before the term's up. All right, so relational databases, extremely popular now, in which we make small tables, especially tables that don't change much, and then we have active tables. It'd be like these are the books in a library, these are all the customers from the library, and then here is who has what checked out. So this stays pretty stable, or doesn't change often. This doesn't change often. This changes all the time. It's really pretty cool how it works. That's it for today.